Texas.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You know what I want to focus on today? The truth. Not your truth or my truth, but simply the truth. That would be a novel idea, and I won't be talking about the big boogeyman, Project 2025. All right, how about this? Ms. Perryman, would you describe Kamala Harris, her role as the border czar, to be a success or a failure?
I don't agree with the premise of your question.
What premise is that?
You're calling her a border czar.
Okay, so let's just say this. March 24th, 2021, the quote from President Biden, "I've asked her, the vice president today, because she's the most qualified person to do it, to lead our efforts with Mexico and the Northern Triangle and countries that are going to need help in stemming the movement of so many folks, stemming the migration to our southern border." So whether or not you want to call her the border czar, the boss, the don, the grand poobah,
or the vice president of the United States,
or the person that the president of the United States put in charge of the border, and this is what he tasked her with. One thing's undeniably clear. She was tasked with mitigating and reducing the flow, or better stated, the flood, of illegal migrants from 4 countries: Mexico, Honduras, Guatemala, and El Salvador. Do you agree with that?
Do I agree with what?
That the president tasked her with mitigating the flow of illegal migration from those 4 countries.
And I think as the president called on Congress from day one of his administration
to
do something about our immigration crisis,
Chairman,
I think is also
Mr.
asked
You're under oath, Ms. Perryman.
Mr. Chairman, I reclaim my time. So Ms. Perryman doesn't want to answer a very simple question. Everybody just saw it. The American people just saw that quote. He gave her, that was her task, get these numbers down. So did she get those numbers down? Did she succeed or did she fail? Because since its inception, it was known as the Biden-Harris administration. Now she wants us to forget about the hyphen and the Harris. So Ms. Perryman doesn't want to answer. Mr. Krikorian, did she succeed or fail?
No, I'm not sure she even tried, but she didn't succeed. Let's put it that way.
Okay, so this, again, let's talk about truth. This can be objectively ascertained because we have data. Donald J. Trump was in office, and the Biden-Harris administration has been in office. Under Donald J. Trump, the illegal migration from those 4 countries was 1.8 million. Under this administration, it was 4.3 million. It's a 239% increase, and by any empirical measure, that was an abject failure in reducing illegal migration. So Joe Biden, Ms. Perryman, on numerous occasions, along with Kamala Harris, has asserted that the border was secure. Do you believe the border is secure?
I believe we need a border bill.
Yeah,
that this
it's not a trick question. Not a trick question. Yes or no? Is the border secure right now? Is our southern border secure?
I'm not here to testify about the
Okay, so I'll take that as a yes. We all know it's not. In fact, the Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas testified under oath in front of God, country, and Congress, and I quote, "The border is no less secure than it was previously." And then he also said, we don't bear responsibility for a broken system. But here's the thing. We've got data, and I'm glad he was impeached because he deserved it. Under even Barack Obama's administration, 4 years, illegal migration, illegal encounters was 1.7 million. Under Donald Trump, it was 1.9 million. So commiserate numbers, they're close. Under the Biden-Harris administration, that figure was 10.6 million, a 557% increase. That was an abject failure. The Homeland Security Secretary was inaccurate, he was wrong, and I believe he was lying under oath. In the last 20 years, so we got this, the New York Times, or was it New York Times? Washington Post said that we had 172,000 illegal crossings in April. We hadn't had a month in 20 years that we had over 200,000 illegal border crossings. Hadn't happened in 20 years. Under this administration, it has happened 28 times. We had Chinese communists, migrants, people from the Chinese, communist China, 1,282 in 2020. In this past year, it was 27,000, a 2,100% increase. People on the terror watch list. Under Donald J. Trump, 4 years, there were 11 people that were apprehended on that list. Under this administration, it was 375. Fentanyl deaths have doubled, and the people of Texas have had to bear the brunt. In the last decade plus, we've had 299,000 criminal aliens arrested, charged with 513,000 crimes and convicted of 187,000 of them. We're talking about murder, rape, kidnapping, burglary, etc. The big and the greatest task, Mr. Chairman, any of us have in this dais is to keep Americans safe. Because if you're not safe, then you're not free. And it's very clear that if you want more of the same, chaos, crime, cartels, corruption, then you keep the same people in power. But if you want change and you want to be safe and you want to put America first, you have an option to do that too. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Very good.